welcome to the Three Technoteers. I'm Steven, and I'm joined by Chilton and Tony. So, we have a few articles we're going to discuss today. I have a couple that are pretty interesting, actually. This first one, scientists created a new way to see a new color. Like, they basically shine these lasers directly into specific parts of the eye and made it to where the test subjects could see a color that it's literally the only way to be able to see this color is by doing like this experiment, by shining the lasers like directly at the eyes in that specific way. And like you apparently you can't photograph this color or print it or like accurately show it to like anyone else without having them like have the lasers shined in their eyes like this, it's pretty wild. But it's like it's pretty cool because it's like it kind of goes back to that whole, well, what if my red is your blue kind of thing. But it goes to show that the colors are, they are created in your head. That's not like a thing or whatever. But they could, once we really have like the brain mapped out and stuff, then we literally could be like, no, my red is your red. You should have stopped at that light. You were wrong.
Yeah, that's a pretty good defense. I'm sure the cops will go for that
Yeah.
one.
I mean, honestly, for being able to alter that kind of deal, that kind of like rolls into like being able to change, pigments with contacts and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
that I'm interested to see maybe, if anything, maybe something else will come out of it that they'll find that if they're able to alter somebody that is able to see those colors, maybe then they'll be able to get those who are colorblind,
Yeah, that's what I was
reconfigure their
just thinking
eyes,
about. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
be able
Do
to
some
reconfigure it.
LASIK kind of thing with the
Sure.
the lasers,
Yeah,
like
why not?
activate their little cones that weren't working properly or whatever, and
Yeah, realigning it.
yeah,
I
realign
mean,
them or
heck, that's like
re-exciting them or whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
huh.
Re-exciting them. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see it like like it's the same concept when they do for like OLED TVs when, when they go in there and they fix like you get the pigment line into it and they'll come in and they'll run like a fiber laser and just zap it and it reactivates it.
I think I've heard of that before. Yeah. Uh didn't they he used to they had something similar on the old school TVs too, didn't they? Like it was like not, or was it like it was some kind of magnet kind of thing that like they'd run across the screen to like clear it out or something,
Well, that
or
does
the
the
magnets
opposite.
would mess it up. Yeah.
It does the
Yeah,
opposite.
yeah.
Yeah, because you got your
Yeah,
tubes
I
and
know there was
they're
something
all
that they could like
particled.
run across the screen and it would like clear it back up or
Yeah.
Well,
something.
Well, like back,
there was a degaussing thing that you could
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yep. You
Okay.
could on the old CRT monitors, you can go in there and change it and press a button and it'd burn, and you'd hear it just reset, burn, and then it'd all come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Huh.
Yeah. I guess I'll roll into this next subject here, if you guys are good with that. Is
Yeah.
so
Yep.
yesterday the Falcon 9 rocket crashed into the moon, and it seems like it was like lost in orbit, I guess, for like 18 months, and then they got a hold of it, but then they decided to purposely crash it into the moon. But by doing this, it's showing them what something may look like. So they decided to take it as like a test run so they can start possibly launching more stuff at the moon, since that's what we're going to end up going to as like a takeoff spot, right? A landing pad. So they took a bunch of measurements on that too, and they blasted it. I'm trying to find a video of the actual crash, but I can't seem to find anything yet, at
Yeah, I
least.
wasn't sure if there
So
actually was anything that got recorded. I wasn't it on like the far side of the moon, or it was like right on the edge or something
right on
like
the
that.
edge, yeah.
Yeah.
If for us in North America, it's right on the top right is where it
Yeah.
was at.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I bet it's probably just so small, like unless you had like some crazy huge telescope, you're not seeing it.
that's
Because I
very
mean,
true.
the moon's huge compared to a tiny little rocket. So and it's pretty dang far. So
That is valid.
yeah, and I think I saw something. It was like it's every there's like an asteroid that size that hits the moon every 6 days or something like that, and you don't see the plumes or anything from that.
Hmm.
So
That's
it's
interesting to see
something
that.
something along those lines. So it's like every 6 days or six things that size every week or something like that. I don't. I'm pretty sure it's the first one, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't have the results of what it came out of, but I know the one thing that they were talking about was like they were estimating because of how fast it was going. So it was going like 5,400 mile an hour. And so they were thinking that that was going to be like 90 meters wide of a crater.
yeah,
So I know that was something that they were trying to watch. I mean, consistently, because, obviously they're not watching the backside of the moon. And it's not rotating. So they can't see what else is being hit. So when they do catch it, it's like a rare glimpse. So I think with them being able to know exactly that this is happening with this weight at this speed
yeah.
and letting them be able to do that. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be crucial information too, especially like it was the Dart mission, I think it was, where they tried like realigning the asteroid's orbit. We talked about it like a bunch of episodes back. They hit the asteroid with a satellite and literally changed its orbit around the sun because of the force of the impact. So yeah, it'd definitely be good information to have, because like I mean that could literally save the planet, being able to like redirect an asteroid.
Oh, for sure. I mean, since they proved that they can do that, I think
Yeah,
that's one of the big things
yeah,
you know, being able to, yeah, it make you think about Armageddon, movie all over again kind of deal, where it's just like, hey, we did something small and it moved this big chunk of rock in space.
yeah,
So at this velocity. So
yeah,
now they at least have a starting point, right? So now if something is coming our way, and if we can catch it in time, uh, then they may be able to launch a bunch of these big ass rockets and call it
yeah.
good. So
That asteroid was apparently just a bunch of like little pieces, though. It's not like a big solid
yeah,
rock, really. And so it's like, you see in like science fiction all the time and stuff, especially like The Expanse and whatnot, where like they'll be like inside of the asteroids like it's a solid rock, but I, I don't think that would actually be possible. So yeah, I'm kind of curious, like asteroid mining is just gonna it's just gonna be like vacuum cleaners. They're just gonna like suck it up and
I mean,
that's it. They're not actually
I
gonna have to like
think
mine it.
yeah, I think honestly that'd probably be one of the most riskiest jobs, considering that we know that they're in clusters and just moving in clusters and have their own small gravitational pull, right? Like let's say if it is a decent sized chunk, but if you have a bunch of chunks and they're all rotating within each other in like in one motion, I think it'd be one of those crazy deals where you're gonna try to mine it and then you really can't. You're gonna only get only so close to it and be able to do certain things to it.
I mean, I think it'll be a lot of automated equipment doing all the
Yeah.
mining and stuff.
I
Like
mean,
probably a bunch of small
what
things
kind
being
of
sent out to a bunch
if
of
it's the vacuum of
asteroids.
space, right? How would you use a vacuum like as a
Oh
suction cup? Do
shit.
suction cups work the same in,
Well,
right? You
heck.
know what I'm saying? Like if you need
Huh.
force and airflow, but if that doesn't exist, I mean, and we're only guessing that maybe it's iron, so you could use some magnets, but
I
even
guess
then,
you just have to scoop it.
net scoop it, right? Net like some
Yeah,
kind of
net
scooping device,
or
maybe.
just um like a paddle boat, just kind
You're
of
just out there with
kick
one of those like pigeon
kick it
catchers, just
into the
launching.
the
Yeah.
huh. Dang, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
This, you know what? I don't think anyone's ever I don't think I've really ever thought about that before. About how if you had, let's say you had some dust floating in the air, you would not be able to use a vacuum cleaner in space. If I mean not in space, but if you had dust floating in space, you wouldn't be able to use a vacuum cleaner to suck it into the vacuum
Yeah.
cleaner.
Unless you're in your spaceship.
That's wild.
Yeah. Because you would need some kind of,
Yeah.
it'd have to be some kind of air movement. I mean, you'd
Yeah.
have to have some kind of give and take, right? So if that doesn't exist,
Well,
is
but
it
it's
just like
like, okay, but here, well, okay, if if you have enough of the dust, because eventually there's a threshold where the dust is the same thing as liquid, basically, where like you get enough of it in a dense enough amount, it's basically the same thing as liquid or air or whatever. And so at that point, why couldn't that have a vacuum? Because all the
what?
dust
I mean, it'd be like
gravity
you
is going to be keeping it together with itself. And so that would help pull
motion.
it in too.
Sure.
Well, so the
Until it's
vacuum
too
cleaner is
much.
going to,
But do you need the pressure? I guess you need all the air around it as well,
Yeah.
not
yeah,
just
yeah, the vacuum cleaner really just decreases the internal pressure of the container, and then
Container
the outside
causes the
air
vacuum.
difference creates the vacuum. Yeah, yeah. So if there's no outside air, it's just floating there. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter if
because
I mean you would only
realistically,
be able
if
to reach zero.
yeah, because then all we would need to do if a vacuum worked in space, we wouldn't need anything to thrust us anyway. We would just run a
hell
bunch of
yeah.
fucking bunch of vacuums.
I mean,
Kirby this,
technically,
just be out there on
Hmm.
your Kirby, just
technically, like once we can build huge ships and scoop up all the little hydrogen particles and stuff, and use that as fuel, that's essentially the same thing. But you got to have like a ship that's like 200 miles wide to like be able to suck up enough, or not. We're not gonna say suck up enough because it's not doing that. It's just catching
collect,
enough,
collect,
collecting
collect enough.
enough to even like make it worthwhile. But yeah, eventually we'll get to that point. You know, basically
Yeah,
like solar cell on the back and collector on the front. You know,
yeah,
Well,
huh?
yep.
Yeah.
Picking up photons. That's about all you can do.
yeah.
And a
Yeah, no,
satellite, occasional
you
satellite.
get hit by the photons on the back, and then you collect the hydrogen particles on the front, and then
Well,
send the
you know,
hydrogen particles to the engine.
yeah. Well, and that kind of leads, and I could pick this up if you wanted to talk. If you had a subject you want to talk about, Chilton, because speaking of hydrogen, but I do know the space race right now is to get to the moon to collect hydrogen 3, because apparently that's what they're using in these plasma generators, like the ones that they run in like China and stuff. So China's like really hardcore trying to go to the moon because apparently there's a high quantity of hydrogen 3 there.
So basically, for all mankind in real life,
Yeah. Yeah.
except China's
Basically.
involved as well, and
Yeah.
we're 50 years late. But
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently hydrogen 3 is like one of the main things that's helping it balance to keep it from going out. And they keep putting more hydrogen 3 from what they've gathered around Earth into this, and the time's just increasing and increasing. So it's more
Oh,
sustained.
oh, oh, wait, hold up. Helium-3.
Helium 3,
Helium
sorry. No, no,
three.
no, yes.
Helium
I'm
Sorry.
3.
sorry.
No, no.
Not
I was like,
hydrogen.
God
Yes.
damn.
Oh my
How do
God.
I not know
Sorry.
about this? I
No,
think you're talking about helium. Yeah. Okay.
helium.
Got it.
I'm
Got it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I stand correct. Yes,
Okay.
not
Gotcha.
hydrogen. I don't know why. Yes, helium
It's
3.
the other one, the H one.
Sorry.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
problem. No.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's helium 3 that they're trying to collect, because I think actually like the cost of helium 3 right now is
Well, I think there's a fixed amount of helium on the planet also, and we're running out
right.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
here
it's
you
still
go.
just
So
filling up balloons with it, like it's infinite. It's pretty wild to
Well,
yeah,
I
me.
mean, I've got this picture when I was in the, I think, eighth grade. I did a science fair project with helium balloons, giant helium balloons. I took weather balloons basically, and I remember going with my dad to go to this place, and that it was just like, oh yeah, helium. We've got an infinite amount of helium. Here's a giant tank of helium. It was dirt cheap. We filled up the balloons a few times. We did all kinds of stuff with them, and then now apparently that would be like expensive because someone let all the helium out of the ground. That would be
hmm
me. But
hmm
yeah, so helium-3, that's wild.
yeah.
I wondered,
Actually, so finding out
huh?
like regular helium apparently is helium 4, which is 2 neutrons, versus helium 3, which is only 1 neutron.
So are they able to like convert it easily, or is it just a whole
I
big
don't
ordeal to
know.
try to
They
do
have
that?
to collect it. Yeah, so it contains two
Hmm.
protons and one neutron for helium-3. Acts as a fermion. It is one of the only stable isotopes with more protons than neutrons. So it's got to be one of like
Hmm.
like five, right? So and then while regular helium, which is helium-4, contains two and two because they're balanced.
Hmm.
And the cost of helium-3 right now, I I don't understand why it's saying it. Oh, that because as a gas. Uh, so it's 15,000 to $30,000 per gram
Hmm.
of helium-3.
Jesus.
Sounds like we just need to go to the moon, start mining some shit, and just like, here you
Yeah.
go.
Uh-huh.
Delivery, delivery. We'll send it straight to you from space. Just put it in a tube and launch it.
Man.
I think that's just, I don't know.
You know,
I think that's pretty crazy.
it is wild that like the uh, mining in space is going to end up being like a bunch of gas mining more so than like metals and stuff. Because like they find they already know like asteroids and stuff that have huge gold deposits and stuff like that that'll like totally ruin the economy once we get there. So like yeah. Um but the gas is like not exactly, I mean no one's buying helium rings or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
like kind of like a different level of thing. It'd be interesting. It'd be super
Be
interesting.
interesting also, how would you mine it and to be able to collect it? I guess probably here on Earth it's a lot harder than it would be on the moon with way less, zero, you have nothing but vacuum out there. So,
Well, it
but I'd
is a
be
gas,
curious on
so I
that.
Well,
guess they could vacuum it up.
is it
Yeah.
trapped in the soil or something like that? Is it? I mean, it's not just like a layer of gas
Oh, let's see. How
Hmm.
one.
soil, regolith, I think it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Collecting it through the regolith, heating it at high
Hmm.
temperature and releasing trapped solar gases and capturing volatile isotopes.
So basically, it's
Hmm.
like making moonshine, but with moon rocks.
Yeah. Real moonshine.
Yeah, real moonshine. Interesting.
See, now
Okay.
you could do that autonomously. And nobody
Oh
even
yeah,
has to be there. You
yeah,
literally send these damn Roombas up there,
dude. I
do
could
their
make a thing
job,
like
and
the
package it.
size of
Yeah.
this that could do
S-
that. Like
Send it.
it'd be easy.
Let it run around
Yeah. Heck, it wouldn't even have to run around. Just sit in one spot and then just have like
like an auger.
yeah, like basically an auger, and it just keeps going down and down and down, and like it can have a
Yeah.
little station beside it that has like rockets that get dropped down into it. They get filled up, and then they launch, go back to the ship in orbit. That goes once it has enough collected, then it goes back to Earth eventually, and then yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Man, I need money.
Yeah. Oh, some of these concepts are literally verbatim. They're literally like, here, this thing is a ground mover. So as it rotates on these six wheels, it's scooping it all up and then kicks it back, throws it back into itself, levels, shakes it all out, they collects it, and then it chambers it into these pods. And each one of these pods is like into one rocket. And that rocket's just gonna take off. And there's like 36 pods into it.
Wait, what I
Interesting.
said is the actual idea.
That's the actual idea.
What the
That's the
dude?
concept.
I need money. Someone invest in me. Someone. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Hell yeah, I like that. All right, so let's see. What do you got for us today, Chilton?
Well, I got two things.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, so we can talk about either. Um, my personal skepticism about Meta and OpenAI and Anthropic's AI's escaping and slipping containment during security tests.
It only would have done that
To
if it was a model that was supposed to do that.
Right.
I
Right.
I have I have many okay. So maybe this is the one we talk about first. The other one is a chewing gum that cures everything. So
Hmm.
the AI model thing though, this is funny because you got Anthropic, and this has been going on for years. But a few years ago, one of these AI things, they said, yeah, we ran this AI model, and it tried to kill the person that was testing it. And it's like, okay, that sounds plausible, I guess. It's kind of creepy and everything. It sure as hell got you in the news, you know. And then a little bit later, it's like, oh, our latest model, it tried to escape the lab it was in. Yeah, it escaped it. That's going to get in the news. And so now Anthropic is saying that, oh, ours, we ran it on Hugging Face, and it broke out of containment, and it started hacking other Hugging Face systems. That's what happened. Trust us, that's what happened, because there's no way for us to know if this is true. And so Meta has now said, you know what? Ours did too. It slipped containment during a security test
Mm.
and began modifying systems it wasn't allowed to touch. And then OpenAI came in and said, yeah, ours has been doing that for a while. It escaped containment, and it's been altering systems that's not supposed to be able to. Even humans can't hack to this degree. It's incredible. You know, Nowhere along the lines has Hugging Face or any of the other testing groups come back and said, we detected a breach, or there's evidence of hacking or anything like that. And if
I
there
did not
was,
know
it
that.
would make me,
Wow. Yeah.
well,
Okay.
it would make me question first, was this really the AI just out there doing that, or did they, are they trying to test the limits? Because if one, let's say that you have three AIs all competing for on the same platform, and they're all accessing the same system, and one of them has the ability to reach into the other's sandboxes and read stuff. That sounds like a hell of a corporate espionage kind of scenario where you would definitely want that kind of information. So it's in everyone's best interest to hack these systems and try to get out of them. I wonder if, number one, if it actually happened, and number two, if it did happen, was it deliberate on the part of the AI companies, and did they just get caught and they're trying to justify getting caught?
Well, yeah, I was thinking
Um,
about this earlier today. Like, it's only like the model is either trained to do that kind of hacking specifically, because like it's not just gonna do that. Uh, it- and it had to have been given the instructions to do it too, because otherwise it's just gonna sit there and be like, "What would you like me to do?"
yeah.
And that's it. That's it. That's all AI does, unless you give it instructions, or unless it's been
So
specifically trained on to where no matter what, it will still like try to do that kind of stuff. And that goes back to just it was trained specifically to do that. So, yeah.
So years ago, I had back in the ancient days of the web, I had a website. It's called the ISP resource page, where I taught people how to set up and run their own ISPs. And it was pretty popular among the ISP crowd. At least I thought it was. But because I had like every month we'd have like 30,000 people, 30,000 unique visitors to the site. And I tracked that stuff real religiously. And that was a huge number back then. It's a huge number now. I
Yeah.
mean, way more than I get on any of my sites now, but I don't run any news sites anymore. But there was I ran an ad, and I remember running an ad, and I was really so stoked because Digital Equipment Corporation DEC wanted to run an ad with me, and that was like the big time. They were one of the big companies. They don't exist anymore. They got bought by Compaq, I think.
Hmm.
Well, they wanted to run an ad, and they asked me how many impressions I get, all this stuff, and I told them. And they said, okay, we're going to watch that from the other side, though. And so they did. And then they came back and they said, okay, you were absolutely right. That's exactly how many people get to your site. Unfortunately, that's way less than this other website that we decided we're going to run with. So they only ran like some ads on my site. I made a little money. I was really excited about it. But then I found out they paid this other company like 100 times more money to run the ads on their site. And the other company was a really big operation and everything. Well, I didn't think anything more of it. I was, it's kind of like me versus CNN. If I was just out here standing in my front yard with a megaphone, my little ISP resource page wasn't that big compared to some of the other sites out there that did news at the time. And I'm not going to say names because the company's still around that I'm talking about. But the funny thing was, when I went to sell, after the whole thing was over, at one point I just said, I'm tired of this. I'm going to go do something else in my life. So I decided to sell my site. Well, that other company called me up and they said, "Hey, we want to buy your site." And their first offer was ridiculously low. And I flat out told them no. And I had another offer, and I went ahead and signed the other offer. And when this company when the first company heard that I had signed with this other guy, they came back with an insanely high number
Mm.
for a second number. And I didn't take it because I thought the guy that I was selling it to was legit. Turns out he was not. I lost my shirt on that one.
Hmm.
But the the thing that I took away from all of it was that after that happened, and after I sold the site and I was no longer associated with it, about a year later, the guy that ran the ad at Deck called me and was like, "Hey, I heard you sold the site. I can talk about this now because you're not associated with this and stuff anymore. But I just wanted to tell you that when we ran our ads on your site, the numbers matched. When we didn't have a whole lot of exposure, but we had a pretty relatively nice number of click-throughs and purchases after that. We tracked all this stuff. The other site still exists. We spent a very large amount of money on them, and the weirdest thing was we didn't get the click-throughs, and we weren't getting sales almost at all. It's almost as if those numbers were fake. It's almost as if they automated somehow faking IP addresses and connecting click-throughs and stuff like that and everything to make it look like they had more people looking at their site for their advertisers than they actually did. And meanwhile, on my site, I had a whole article on how to fake your IP address so that you can simulate a large number of viewers, that kind of thing. And I was like, crap.
They probably literally
Why didn't
used your article to figure out
they?
how to
They
do
could
it.
have. They literally could have. And that's the funny thing about this is anytime there's a tech company that's like, look at these massive numbers. Okay, how can I prove those numbers somehow? And this
Yeah.
is the situation I'm faced with right now with shorts. As you guys noticed, I put out a bunch of shorts and stuff like that recently for another product. While I'm doing that, like I'll put out a video and Facebook will be like, "Congratulations, 500 people saw your video." And I go look at it, it's like got 2 likes. And it's like, okay, who are the 2 people? Oh, those were 2 people that I know. Well, that's weird that 500 this video has been seen 500 times, and this in this case it was 500 times in less than a minute. 500
Hmm.
times, and the only people that clicked like were 2 people that I knew. And so that's odd. But there's no way for me to check that number. And
Yeah.
same with YouTube. I post a short. Oh, thousands of people have seen this short. That's awesome. I'm getting the
Yeah, and
same number of
it
click
doesn't
throughs. I'm
show
getting the
you
same
like
kind of,
who the people are or anything, so you can't see if it's just a bunch of bot accounts or not.
you don't know. You don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
and then so X, remember when Elon was like, oh, half the people on X, maybe even more than half, are fake accounts, and then he buys X and conveniently never releases those numbers.
yeah.
So, why would he? Because that helps advertising if those are fake accounts. I don't know. So I have so many.
Plus, he's
I
using
that
a bunch of fake bot accounts to spread like misinformation and propaganda and all that kind of crap too.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know which is scarier to think that someone is using bot accounts to spread propaganda or to think that there are that many people who are legitimately just, oh, I'll share that, because
yeah.
that could be,
Man,
Or
all
that's a scary thought.
some of these things I've been like some of the posts I've been seeing from the conservative pages about weed recently because of all this Texas stuff have been intense to say the least. Like it's like we're in reefer madness back in the 20s again or something. Like it's just ridiculous. Like, marijuana ruined my life. Sure, buddy. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never mind the poor decisions. You just spent your last
Yeah.
paycheck on a
Yeah.
bunch of Powerball tickets and you didn't win anything.
Yeah.
Mm,
You had enough
yep.
to get a joint. That was about it.
Yeah. How many bridges have you bought?
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah. So
we
anyway,
are
yeah.
at
So
our
the other thing I was
time,
going to
guys.
okay.
Go ahead and finish that. We
Ma-
got like 2 minutes
maybe
left.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe next time we can talk about this new gum they have that cures HPV and a bunch of other stuff and could be used
Yeah.
could have
Yeah, we
been
can talk
used
about
to
that.
stop
Wow.
COVID.
What?
But they haven't finished the trials on that one yet. But it's like 98% effective at reducing the virus in the mouth and stuff. But the official numbers haven't been released on it yet, and that would be highly controversial if it turns out to be true. It's all based on a bean, a single bean, but maybe we leave the name of the bean until the next episode to make sure that more people watch the next episode.
I can dig that.
I like that.
Y'all like that one? All right. Yeah. Good episode, guys. Great
Oh,
talk
yeah.
as always.
Thanks.
I'll
Yep.
I guess y'all want to just meet up here in a few days on Sunday, yeah?
You're right.
That's good for
Sounds
y'all.
good.
All right, cool. Well, see y'all later, and thanks for joining us, everyone else.